What's going on? My name's Connor Williams. I'm here at Camp Talowali. I'm not quite sure how to say it, down here in Staten, Oregon. I thought I would do an in the bag for the 2020 season, or at least an estimate of the type of discs that I think I'm going to be throwing. First of all, my PDGA number is 103206 for anybody who likes to look that kind of stuff up. Currently rated 970, and I play primarily in the Portland, Salem area in Oregon. I had a pretty good 2019 season. I had 9 or 10 MA1 wins, something like that, and ended the season reaching 970 rated. So I played 2 events already in 2020 in MA1, but I've decided to step up to MPO at this point, and start playing for some money. So we'll see how that goes. First of all, I use a pound Octothorpe made here in the Pacific Northwest, and I believe parts of Montana as well. But it's just a fantastic bag. It's got tons of pockets and room and features and great straps, and it's super comfy. I've got a rain fly that goes with it, and it totally shields everything from the rain. It's got a nice umbrella slot, a little pouch right here for your cell phone or keys or whatever. Just an all-around fantastic bag. So putters right now, I'm for 6 months or so now, I'm putting with Classic Blend Judges, sort of the medium soft blend of the Classic Plastic. And I'm just really liking these. I was putting with the Prime Judges for a while, but I kind of like how I can sink my fingers into this one a little bit, get some better grip. But the Classic Blend Judges are fantastic. I really like these cool blue ones with the red reflective stamp. And throwing putters, I've just got 2 or 3 in here. My favorite plastic blend probably of all time, Fluid Plastic from Dynamic Discs, unfortunately has been largely discontinued at this point, but the Fluid Judge is money for me right now. I'm loving throwing the Fluid Judge. And an old buddy, well, a buddy from Portland who recently moved, gave me a couple more. These sweet first run Fluid Judges are awesome. So I love that disc. And just a quick plug, if anybody has any they're willing to trade or sell, love to buy them from you. Another huge staple in my bag is the Z Flex Zone from Discraft. Love the Zone. It's beadless, but it's flat, shallow rim. Can throw it for stable forehand flick shots. It's primarily what I throw it for, but I will throw it for backhand kind of hyzer short chip shots if I need to. But this is primarily kind of a forehand up shot, hyzer, or like a little step out from the woods type of thing. It's what I'll generally use the Zone for. That's really it for my putters. Mid ranges, I've got 3 molds. The first one is the Rock 3. I actually only have 3 right now, but they're working pretty well for me. This is just a newer run of the Champion Rock 3, 180 grams, just a nice semi-domey, stable, glidey mid-range. And this other one is from the 2019 Oak Grove Open down here at Shampooey Park in Oregon, sponsored by Oregon Sports and Family Chiropractic. Just quick shout out to Chase Estep and Brandon Garland for everything they do in the local scene. Color Glow Rock 3. A little more flat and a little less stable and glidey than this one. I'll throw this one generally if I need a straighter shot, versus this one I'll throw for more right to left shots. And then the last one is, I think this is, of course, the last run of the McPro Rock 3s, the 2018 run. It's a 180, but it's more flippy, so I'll throw this for understable mid-range shots. And then I also have one Champion Rock X3, just if I need more stability than that other Rock 3. This one will definitely move left more and can fight wind a little more. I wouldn't necessarily throw this if I'm facing wind. I'd probably throw something like a Gator, but this is more if I need to get more right to left or just more glide. And then, as kind of mentioned, I've got a 2019 Scott Withers Luster Tour Series Gator. The most overstable Gator I've ever personally thrown. I know there's been lots of different runs, but the Luster, and it's basically concave, it's so flat. I mostly throw this for forehand up shots, just something, I kind of interchange it with the Zone, but this I can really put more power on it, pretty much full power throw. It's so stable. And the point of this disc is to just get to the ground and skip, or you know, get around a corner or something like that. But really cool artwork, and like to support Scott as well. Next mold, I'm getting into fairway drivers. I have a pair of Leopard 3s. This is I think the first run of the Drew Gibson Luster Leopard 3s, but it's not the approved one. It's got the R. It's the approved run, so I guess it's the second run. this is really more like a Teebird, almost like a beat-in Teebird, which I like. I can throw this 75% power, like 360 feet dead straight through a tunnel. Probably my main tunnel disc, I would say. Tons of glide, so you can, you know, count on it not fall into the ground. It'll just hold your glide forever through a tunnel. So really great disc. This one is just a regular Champion Leopard 3. I got the sweet Huck Lab die on it up in St. John's in Portland. So that's just a really nice disc. More flippy than that Luster run, but this one I can throw a little softer, like 60% or so, and still get it to just smoothly float straight down a tunnel. I have one Teebird in here. This is the 2018 KJ Nybo Swirly Star Teebird. This is probably the prettiest and coolest disc that I own. The swirls in it are amazing, and the stamp transition is so cool. I really go back and forth between the Luster Leo 3 and this. They're pretty much the same in stability. This one will dump out a little harder since it is a Teebird, but I'm really not throwing this one a whole lot anymore. I'll go to it every now and then if I need a straight shot with a little bit of left movement for about 320, 330. I've got one Champion Thunderbird. This is a 3-time Paul Macbeth run. This is my favorite run of Champion Thunderbirds. Just a nice, trustworthy, reliable, straight to hard finish disc that I can throw probably 370 or so. I really like the Thunderbird. It's just a good, solid disc. I have 3 Nate Sexton Color Glow Firebirds in here. Nate Sexton, of course, from Corvallis, Oregon, so got to support the guy. Plus, the Color Glow Firebird is just an awesome all-around disc. I've got a pretty beat-up now 2018 one. This really behaves more like a Thunderbird, but of course it is still a Firebird, so it'll, at the end of the flight, dump out like a Firebird does. But this one, I'm sort of only throwing it for backhands now, or I can actually get this to flip up on a forehand now since it's so beat up. The sweet stamp is almost gone, but this is probably my favorite disc in the bag. I love this thing. And then I have 2 of the 2019 runs. This one's probably my favorite just because it's the cool pink with the black stamp. It's the most overstable one I have, so I mostly throw this one for forehands. Probably my main go-to forehand disc for shots that are less than 340 or so. And then another one, this one is just slightly more beat up than the pink one, but essentially these are the same purpose. I just kind of have 2 of them for backup in case something happens. The next run is a new disc to my bag. It's the Dynamic Disc Fuzion Raider. I am loving this thing for long hyzer forehands. I'm actually throwing this farther than any other disc I've ever thrown on a forehand, at least. Just the plastic, this new Fuzion plastic feels fantastic, and I can really sink my fingers into it and just get a nice, good, clean rip with the disc. Just really trustworthy for left to right moving shots. I'm really liking this thing. It's sort of replacing, but I've still got it in the bag. This is just a Star XCal. This thing is very domey, which I like. This thing I'll actually throw if I need something to glide a little more than that Raider. But I will use these pretty interchangeably, but the XCaliber is just a really fantastic disc. And then the last mold in my bag is destroyers. I've got 4 Star Destroyers in here. This one is this is a Splatter Star Destroyer, which is my favorite run, personally. It's from the 2019 Oregon Disc Golf Championships. I took 2nd in MA1 at this event, averaged, I think, like 993 golf or something. So, plus I played the course blind. It's at Trojan Park in Rainier, Oregon. If anybody knows where that is, but it's a really challenging course. You throw over water a lot, lots of OB, danger. I was just really, really feeling good this weekend. I was super happy to take 2nd. So this disc kind of has some special mojo to it for me. This is just a regular Star Destroyer from last year's Huck for Independence at Horning's Hideout in North Plains, Oregon. Thanks to Josh Pierce and Independence Disc Golf for always running great events. I can't wait for this year's Huck for Independence. Just a good old embossed Star Destroyer, nice and stable. This is also from this year's Huck, but it's a Splatter Star Destroyer. This is probably my main go-to distance driver at this point. It's a 171, a little bit lighter, but I can really get this thing moving, probably out to my best throws like 460 or so. Just a really solid, dependable disc. And then I'd say this is my 2nd favorite disc in the bag. I've had it for quite a while now. This is the first run, the 2017 Philo Brathwaite Star Destroyer. This is a 167, I think. pretty lightweight, got a good dome to it, and still pretty stable for a 167 and pretty beat up. But this is still my turnover distance driver for the most part. I'll throw this if I need a left to right moving shot that isn't really going to flex out at the end, but this is another one of my go-tos. And then the last disc, this is a Pro Destroyer, a 171 Pro Destroyer. This is my roller disc for the most part. It's pretty beat up, and it's Pro plastic and 171. So if I just pretty much throw it, not even flat, or not even with any, just pretty much flat and hard, it'll flip over and turn into a roller. We had a Stumptown Slosh event up at Pier Park back in December, and I birdied hole 1 with a roller on this disc. If anybody's played that hole, they know how difficult it is, and I got my roller to about 25 feet, made the putt. So really, really nice disc. I highly recommend the Pro Destroyer for a roller disc. Just a couple other things that are in my bag. I always kind of like to highlight this. Of course, I've got a water bottle. This is a cool little metal engraved bag tag from Buck Rich. This is from the Shampooey Doubles League that happens every summer. It's from Memorial Day through Labor Day on Thursdays in the summertime. If you're in the area, come check it out. It's the best doubles league that I've played. Super fun, casual but competitive, and good payouts. I've got a little Beaver State Fling pin right there, and of course a Next Adventure pin. Great shop up in East Portland. What else do I have? Of course, my car keys. Don't want to forget those in the car. And then I have like Neosporin, some nail clippers, some poison ivy relief, and I think I've got a sanding block in here in case my disc, excuse me, gets a big old chunk taken out of it. I can take the sanding block and just kind of sand it out of there. So that's primarily what I'll be throwing for this season, or at least different backups and iterations of those discs. I feel really confident with this, and I hope to play another 20 events or so this season, maybe travel to Washington and California if I can, get up and down the West Coast a little bit, but hopefully have some success in the MPO division and win some money and meet some new people. So thanks for watching the video, and we'll catch you out there.